rebound. So Scottie Pippen hit his first three from downtown. He's missed his last three. Ewing, yes. And the Knicks now lead 45-42. 9 points for Ewing, along with 8 rebounds and 4 assists. The Bulls call for time.
Patrick Ewing has been doing this all game long, and really the last few games that he's played. Anytime he gets double teamed, he is picking out his teammates very quickly as he finds Oakley, and he can step out and still shoot that jump shot. Of course, sometimes he tends to do it a little too much. However, it is a big part of his game, but where he really does his damage and helps New York is inside.
The Knicks with a 3-point lead. Matt, bittersweet memories for one of the inhabitants of a new luxury box at the United Center. Always nice to keep the photo of Chicago Stadium handy.
Well, a lot of fond memories of that building. I know we always like to go there and broadcast more, but I played there for parts of 3 years. It's just a fantastic building, and with all kinds of tremendous memories.
Bill Wennington with his 3rd field goal. He's at 3 out of 5 for 6 points. The Knicks by 1. Hubert Davis and Derek Harper now at the guards. Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason on the front line. And Ewing draws the foul once again.
Well, Wennington's strength is the fact that he can step out on the floor, try to draw that big man away. No way Patrick Ewing can get out there in time to challenge that shot, as Bill Wennington has had a lot of good looks at the basket, as Pat Riley knows that just too difficult right now for Patrick Ewing to get out there in that type of play.
It has been a tumultuous season for the New York Knicks. We talked about the knee problems of Patrick Ewing, John Stark shooting difficulties. We touched on that earlier. The Knicks crushed by the Magic in Orlando. Patrick Ewing upset at one point with John Starks for questioning his shot selection during a game in Atlanta. John Starks and Rick Anthony benched by Pat Riley. The toe problems of Charles Oakley. An alleged squabble between Anthony Mason and John Starks on a recent charter flight, which both have denied. Here's Armstrong on a fadeaway. And a loose ball foul. It's on Wennington. Pat Riley also at one point upset with the log jam on the roster, which eventually led to the departure of Doc Rivers, who ends up with the San Antonio Spurs. And Matt, how about that wild report the other day that Riley would eventually be headed to Orlando, which Pat angrily denounced. And he does have one more year left on his contract, but it's the way it's gone for the Knicks, who have been struggling, losing 3 straight at home, 4 straight overall. But as Pat mentioned to us earlier today, it's a long season. A lot of things can turn.
But it's a daily soap opera for the New York Knicks, and of course compound all the problems off the floor with not winning games, and on a 4-game losing streak, it makes it that much more difficult. The players, the coaches, they just kind of go into their room, Marv, and just throw a blanket over their heads. Don't read, don't watch TV, just concentrate on playing basketball.
Now, would you ever tell that to your ball club? I never believe that coaches and players don't read the papers. I mean, that's nonsense. Here's Pippen, and it cuts it to a 3-point lead.
Well, you can't avoid it, Marv, because somebody, even if you don't read on a particular day or two, somebody's going to tell you what so-and-so said. So you're always informed in general about what's going on. But you can make a conscious effort to stay away from it as much as possible.
Traveling violation. Well, if you're in the New York area, all you have to do is pass the newsstand, and you'll get a little taste of it. A montage of what the Knicks have seen right throughout, and understandably, there have been a number of intriguing situations. Charles Oakley called for the foul. That is his second, and Tony Kukoc will go to the line.
Well, the Bulls always make a conscious effort of spreading the floor against the New York Knicks. The Knicks are such a good help defensive team, but they want to take them out, maybe 28, 30 feet, spread the floor as much as possible, so then when they get a driving situation, as Tony Kukoc just did, it makes it that much more difficult for the Knicks to come over and help out.
Tony Kukoc missed his first 2. He's a 74% free throw shooter. And now looking to convert his second straight. He just went over and said something to Tony.
And he nodded, which means he has no idea what Bob Delaney said.
Perhaps Bob was telling him about those humorous glasses that he's wearing before the game. Mason and Wellington will jump it up. The basket will not count. It's a tie-up. Good play by, I should say, Purdue and Mason. Good play by Will Purdue.
And amongst some of the problems the Knicks having on the basketball floor, for whatever reason, they have really dropped down near the bottom of the league in offensive rebounding. That's just not happen when you have people like Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, Charles Smith, big bodies who have a sense of when shots are going up and should get to the offensive board. They haven't done it this year.
Here's Pippen, fouled by Harper. Crowd reacts. Harper was trying to brace the fall, and it will not be a flagrant. That's what the crowd wanted.
Derek Harper just wants to make sure here that Scottie Pippen doesn't make the little shove in the back, but he just wraps him up and holds his arms and then makes sure that Scottie Pippen does not run into that basket stanchion, which, by the way, Mark, that stanchion used to be about 4 or 5 feet closer to the end line at both ends. At the beginning of the year, the Bulls had that changed, and of course they also wanted to change that basket at the other end as Phil Jackson is trying to get comfortable in this building and get his ball club comfortable. They just aren't yet.
Harper sits down after picking up his third, replaced by Anthony. Harper leads with 4 points. The Bulls are not a good free throw shooting team, only 70% at the line. Pippen has 16 points. He's the high man for Chicago. Kukoc with 12. Here's pressure by the Bulls. Mason had it knocked away, but then recovered. The game is tied at 49. Ewing with the spin. Crowd wanted to travel. Two minutes left in this first half. Kukoc wanted the room. Told Purdue to get out of the way. Here's Kerr.
And that's why he wants to get isolation as much as possible. He is so confident in his ability right now. He feels he can take anybody off the dribble and make a play.
The Bulls lead by 2. Ewing with position. And here comes Pippen for Kukoc. Back come the Knicks. Mason lost it and then recovered. It's a 3-on-1. Davis for 3. Yes. Hubert Davis, who has not been shooting well, converting on his first field goal attempt, and he does it from downtown. The Knicks 52 and the Bulls 51. We're approaching 1 minute remaining in the half. The Bulls spreading the floor. Now Kerr from Pippen. That's one you rarely see from the Steve Kerr arsenal.
He is definitely not comfortable cutting across the lane, having to slip up a left-hand hook against Patrick Ewing.
Ewing. So Patrick Ewing will head back to the free throw line. He was fouled in the act by Purdue, his third.
Tony Kukoc getting the kick out here from Scottie Pippen as he got raked across the arm there, and he is talking a language I'm sure nobody in this building, well, there's a lot of Croatians here in Chicago. They probably know exactly what he's saying there as he did get hammered by Anthony Mason.
Ewing had hit his first 5 from the line. Pete Myers will come on now. Will Purdue departs. Patrick Ewing has had a superb first half. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block shots. This one of his better performances of the season in terms of all-around skill.
And Pat Riley will point out to his team at halftime that Patrick Ewing can not only do this for himself, but help the teammates as well if we will get the ball inside to him on a consistent basis.
The Knicks lead by 2, 35 seconds remaining in the half. And he's tied the game at 53. 14 points for Tony Kukoc. Pippen and Kukoc have combined for 30 of the Bulls' 53 points. They double up on Anthony. 20 seconds to go in the half. Pippen now guarding Ewing, who backs his way.